What if every gift you've ever given came with an invisible price tag, and you've been paying the same fee on everything you receive? There's a way out of that transaction, and we'll explore it together, including a short meditation toward the end. Here's what we're actually looking at today. Most of us operate under a quiet assumption that giving costs us something. That whenever someone gains, someone else has to lose. It's so deeply baked into how we move through the day that we don't even notice it running. But there's another kind of giving, one where offering peace, or goodwill, or even just basic decency to another person doesn't drain you. It actually multiplies what you have. And the reason this matters, the reason it's worth the next 10 minutes of your attention, is that most of us are quietly exhausted from the invisible scorekeeping that runs underneath every exchange in our lives. That fatigue you can't quite explain at the end of a normal day. A lot of it is coming from the ledger you didn't know you were keeping. Let me put you inside a moment you probably know. It's a Tuesday afternoon. You're in a meeting. A colleague, maybe someone you actually like, takes credit for an idea you floated last week in a hallway conversation. You don't say anything. You smile. You nod. The meeting ends. But for the next 3 hours, you are not actually working. You're running the conversation on a loop. What you should have said. What you'll say next time. How the scales are now tilted unfairly in their direction. By 5 p.m. you're depleted. And here's the strange part. Nothing has actually happened to you since the meeting ended. No one has taken anything else. You've just been sitting at a desk. So where did the exhaustion come from? It came from the mental accounting department that never clocks out. The part of us that, the moment something feels uneven, opens a tab and starts tracking. They owe me. I'm down. The books need to balance. We didn't sign up for this job. Nobody handed us a ledger on the way into adulthood. But somewhere along the line, we started keeping one, on partners, on co-workers, on parents, on strangers in traffic. Most of us are running multiple ledgers at once and calling it being fair. Now here's the thing nobody really says out loud. This scorekeeping is built on a specific belief. The belief is that giving is loss. That if I give you my time, my attention, my patience, my benefit of the doubt, I have less of it now. So I'd better make sure you give something comparable back. Otherwise I'm being taken advantage of. Watch how this runs in small ways. You text someone first 3 times in a row. The 4th time, you find yourself thinking, I'm not going to reach out again until they reach out to me. You hold the door for someone and they don't say thank you. And a tiny pinprick of resentment shows up. You cover for a colleague and you make a quiet note, they owe me one. None of this makes you a bad person. It makes you a person who has absorbed, very thoroughly, a transactional model of human exchange. In that model, every gift is really a loan with interest. Every kindness is a placeholder for a return. We're not actually giving, we're investing and tracking the portfolio. And it's exhausting. Not because we're bad at it, because we're doing it constantly. Here's the metaphor I want you to sit with. Think about the way sunlight works. When the sun lights up a room, it doesn't become darker outside. When the sun warms your face, it hasn't run out of warmth for the person standing next to you. There's no rationing. There's no scarcity. The sun isn't keeping score on who got how much. Now think about how most of us actually operate. We're more like a phone battery. We wake up at some percentage. We watch it drain through the day. We monitor what's left. We get anxious when we drop below 20%. We resent the people we think are using up our charge. By evening, we're hunting for somewhere to plug in. This video is about what it would feel like to start treating your inner resources, your patience, your goodwill, your basic warmth toward other people, more like sunlight than like battery charge. Not as a spiritual achievement, as a practical change in how the math works inside you. Here's the turn. Here's the thing that, if you let it land, actually changes the experience of an ordinary day. The transaction model isn't the solution to your exhaustion. It's the source of it. Read that again if you need to. The mental accounting we do to protect ourselves from being shortchanged is the very thing that's draining us. Not the colleague. Not the meeting. Not the ungrateful relative, the ledger itself. And there's a kind of giving that operates on completely different arithmetic. When you genuinely wish someone well, not as performance, not because they earned it, not because you're trying to be a good person, something quietly unexpected happens. You don't have less. You have more. The peace you offered someone else is the same peace that's now available to you. Because here's the secret the ledger doesn't want you to see. You can't extend warmth toward another person without passing through it yourself first. This is why the colleague who took credit for your idea is not actually the obstacle to your peace. They're the practice ground for it. Think of the person in your life right now who feels most expensive. The one who, when their name comes up on your phone, costs you something just to read. That person is not a problem to be managed. They are exactly where the practice lives. Try this, just as a thought experiment. Picture them, and instead of running the tally of what they owe you, what they did wrong, what they should have said, quietly, internally, wish them well. Not because they deserve it. Not because you're letting them off the hook. Because releasing the debt is the only way to stop paying it yourself. You don't have to call them. You don't have to forgive anything publicly. You don't have to pretend nothing happened. This isn't about them at all. Actually, it's about whether you're willing to put down the ledger you've been carrying around with their name on it. Because every minute you carry that ledger, you are the one being charged interest on it. So here's where we land. The relief we're looking for isn't going to come from finally getting what we're owed. It's not going to come from the apology, the recognition, the moment the scales tip back in our favor. It's going to come from noticing, maybe for the first time today, maybe for the first time in a long while, that we've been keeping score in a game nobody actually announced. And we can stop. Not all at once. Not perfectly, just in small moments. The next time you notice the loop starting, the running tally, the rehearsed conversation, the quiet resentment, you don't have to fix it. You just have to recognize it. Oh, there's the ledger again, and you can set it down. What people who practice this report isn't a dramatic spiritual experience. It's something quieter and more useful. A feeling of having enough, being enough. Without needing the books to come out even, the chronic low-grade tension of keeping score simply lifts. And what's left is something a lot more like sunlight than like battery charge. Let's take a few minutes now to actually feel this, instead of just thinking about it. If you'd like more teachings and guided practices like this, you can like the video and subscribe. And now, we'll move into a short guided meditation. Let's settle in. Find a position that lets your body feel held, shoulders soft, jaw unclenched. Let your hands rest somewhere they don't have to do anything. Close your eyes if that feels right. Take one slow breath in, and let it leave on its own. Another. No effort, just letting the breath arrive. Notice that, right now, you are not being asked to give anything. You are not being asked to earn anything. There is no exchange happening here. For these few minutes, the ledger can be set down. Bring to mind, gently, someone you've been quietly keeping score with. Don't strain. Whoever surfaces is the right person. Maybe a co-worker, a family member, someone from a long time ago. You don't have to like them. You don't have to forgive what happened. Just, for this moment, in the quiet of your own mind, wish them well. May you have peace. May you have ease. Notice what happens inside you when you offer that. Not to them, to yourself first. The warmth doesn't leave you to reach them. It passes through you on the way. Like sunlight. Nothing is lost. Now turn the same attention toward yourself. The same softness, the same wish. May I have peace. May I have ease. Feel how the body wants to settle when no one is keeping score. The shoulders drop a little further. The breath gets quieter. The jaw lets go of something it's been holding all day. This is what's underneath the noise. This is what's been here the whole time. Rest here for a moment. Nothing to add. Nothing to balance. Nothing owed. Just the simple fact of being, without any debts attached. Breathe. When you're ready, let your awareness widen. Notice the room around you, the sounds, the temperature of the air, the weight of your body in the chair. Bring this quiet with you as you open your eyes. Nothing has changed in your circumstances. And something has changed in you. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a link to a free digital copy of ACIM in the description. And if this video resonated with you, please comment. I am grateful. Thank you for being here, for giving these few minutes to yourself, instead of to the running tally. Be gentle with yourself this week. You're not as overdrawn as the noise makes it sound. The warmth you offered today, even quietly, even imperfectly, is the same warmth that's now available to you. I'm glad we got to spend this time together.